Hello and welcome to Spoonful of Simplicity English. It's the winter season, the season of carrots. And while we Indians indulge in a lot of sweet preparations made of carrot, I'm in love with carrot cake. And I attempted an eggless version of the carrot cake, which has turned out amazingly well. Let's start making that together. So I'm taking curd or yogurt, half a cup, followed by demerara or brown sugar, 1/3 cup, caster sugar or powdered sugar, 1/6 cup, and we're going to mix these together. For convenience, I recommend using a whisk to do this mixing. Next, we are going to add some odorless oil. I've used refined oil here, which is 1/4 cup, and then mix all of these liquid ingredients into a nice homogeneous mixture. We're not done yet with the liquid ingredients. There's milk, which I've taken 1/4 cup of, and finally mix these liquid ingredients together into a very nice homogeneous mixture. Now we're going to add the dry ingredients to this. The first ingredient to go in is plain or all-purpose flour that I've taken 1 cup of, baking powder, 1 teaspoon, baking soda, half a teaspoon, and a pinch or 1/8 teaspoon of salt. We're going to sieve all of these into the liquid ingredients, and using our whisk, we're going to mix all of these together till we see no large flour pockets in our batter. Now we're going to add some cinnamon powder and some nutmeg powder. I've taken 1/4 teaspoon of each, followed by vanilla extract. You could also use vanilla essence here. I've used 1 teaspoon of that. Now we need the hero ingredient of this preparation, which is carrot. I've taken grated carrots, 1.5 cup. Friends, a thing to note here is that I'm using red carrots, but this will be equally good with the orange carrots that you get. Now our mixture is done, and I'm going to transfer all these ingredients into a nicely lined cake tin of 7 inches. After transferring, tap it a little and bake it in a preheated oven at 160 or 170 degrees centigrade for about 60 to 70 minutes. At the end of 60 minutes, do a skewer test. If your cake is ready, take it out. Otherwise, leave it in the oven for a little longer. After taking it out, we're going to leave it to cool for about an hour. And while this cools, we're going to prepare the frosting. Friends, this recipe calls for a cream cheese frosting, and I'm going to make it along with buttercream. We need around 50 grams of softened butter and 100 grams of cold cream cheese. It might be a good idea here to measure these using a scale, and then after we've transferred both of these ingredients together, we can start mixing them. I'm using a hand beater to do this, and it should take somewhere around 8 to 10 minutes for it to beat up completely. My recommendation is that if you have a stand mixer at home, use it instead of a hand beater. It just makes things easier. Next, we're going to add around 1/8 teaspoon of orange zest into this cream cheese frosting. If you do not have orange at home, you can replace it with lemon zest. In goes vanilla extract or vanilla essence, 1 teaspoonful of, and while we are beating the cream cheese frosting, we are going to add 1 cup of icing sugar in parts and mix it with a spatula first before continuing beating this. After having beaten it for around 8 to 10 minutes, I have my frosting prepared. A consistency like this should be a good point for you to stop and bring your cake back so that we continue frosting it. By this time, my cake is cooled down, and I'm going to get it back and remove it from the cake tin that it had baked into. Using a knife, I'm going to loosen the sides and tap out the cake. Now, after removing the parchment paper that I had placed into the cake tin, I need a leveler to be able to slice this cake into 2 halves. If you do not have a cake leveler at home, you can use a serrated knife or even a thread to do this. We shall use the first part and add a generous amount of cream cheese to this. Now, additionally, I had roasted some pecans, and if you do not have pecans at home, you can substitute them conveniently with walnuts. There's going to be very marginal difference in taste, but it's going to still taste amazing. After placing the second part of this cake, I have decorated it with more pecans, and with that our cake is ready. I'm going to place this cake in the fridge for a while, and then we are going to slice out a slice and see how it looks. Now, if you can understand, it's a very soft cake that I have made, and look at this beauty. Oh my god, it looks beautiful. See the layers that have come out, and the generous amount of pecans are adding to the beauty of this cake. This one bite is something that will tell me how amazingly delicious this cake is, and I'm sure if you try this at home, it is going to be a wonder to anybody who has it on their palate. Now is your turn to try this cake, and let me know how you like this recipe and how it turned out in the comment section. If you like this video, please do hit the like button and share this recipe with more and more people so that they benefit with the recipe as well. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, this is exactly the time when you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you're always kept aware of all the recipes that I post. Till my next video, it's bye bye.